Welcome to the Tone Jerks Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower. With me today, we got...
Kyle McIntyre in his house.
McIntyre.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Kyle.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? What's shaking?
Oh, wait. Who asked first?
Yeah. It's like, you got to answer.
Yeah. I asked first, dude.
Yeah. If you don't answer, you're mean. You're a bad friend.
You're mean. Yeah.
Remember that one time you were mean to me?
No. Well, you would. You wouldn't.
You would forget, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would be insensitive. Bitch.
You cunt.
You just fucking, you just overstep. No reason.
Yeah.
Escalate.
Yeah. Anyways, Kyle, what's new in your world? What's shaking?
Ask me the thing. God damn it.
Yeah.
So, because I'm like a fucking hacker over here,
Yeah.
I got that fucking HX stomp working, dude.
Yeah,
it worked. It
Hacker
worked fine
mode.
plugging it into the amp.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to crack the code, dude. I had to get into it.
Yeah.
I had to I had to update the driver in my computer.
Yeah.
Which was a big fucking deal, apparently. It's not just like something you buy at Best Buy and you're like, plug it into the computer and it goes, oh, thanks. There you've been. Where have you been all my life?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because normally things just automatically update. This, I had to literally go onto the website, download the driver, which I couldn't find initially.
Yeah.
Because they also have things called, Line 6 driver, whatever. They have like line driver. They have things. I'm like, this is not the thing. This is not the thing I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to find the updated HX Stomp one, got it on there, and then suddenly it was like, oh boy, it recognized it in the system because I had the licensor, I had the updater, I had everything open, nothing recognized it.
Mm-hmm.
The computer, I would plug it in and it would, I could see it fly. It was like, what's that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't care. And so got that working, and then I got into, got it to firmware updated. So, which was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I got into, was it the HX
Edit?
Edit, yeah.
Well, because
that's cool.
I have HX Edit, and I think that's everything is in there. I don't know if it's difference between Apple and PC.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I just go, because I can't update even HX Edit unless I have my HX Stomp plugged into it. So I haven't.
Oh, really?
Like I had mentioned, I'm like, I haven't plugged my HX Stomp. Even though it's a cool thing, I haven't plugged it in over a year.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't update it. And same thing with 2 Notes. So 2 Notes, I can't remote, 2 Notes remote or torpedo, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
I can't update it unless I have the product, item or whatever it is. The product. Consume products. Plugged into my computer. So, but anyways. Same thing with, actually, I think that's everything. Because even Focusrite, I haven't plugged up an interface in over a year. And I know there's been updates to Focusrite. But anyways.
Nice.
What are we talking about? You're like,
so, I don't give a fuck anymore.
I want to talk about mileage.
I hear fractal and other things. I'm like, nose up.
Yeah.
Oh, a fractal. Have you ever heard of a Helix?
Yeah.
The entry-level Helix?
Hello. That you got
it's
from
so
Bond?
entry-level they couldn't even put the whole word on there. It's
Yeah.
HX.
Yeah. Still not a bad buy.
So, right now, you and I are sharing an account on Line 6. Because we're bros.
Okay.
Right? So because I was already logged in on yours, right?
Yeah.
So I put I made a bass tone, right? My pop punk bass tone. Just I haven't even played it through an amp or anything. I just playing it through headphones.
Yeah.
Sounded pretty fucking good. So I posted it on their the custom tone part.
Yeah.
Already have 37 downloads.
That's pretty good. I think mine was up there too.
Yours?
Yeah.
Right now, as I can see them now, your bass one is at 1,200.
1,200 downloads?
Yeah. 1250.
That's pretty good.
So, and then your guitar,
2.
because you didn't even say what it is. You have the little emoji face on there.
Uh-huh.
Hey. like imagine that noise, but that face, whatever. A little kid drew it. I don't know. Was it carrots and a line and anyways, who cares? 500.
That's pretty good.
On that one.
Wasn't that bad?
Pretty good. I'm on my way to get you. No, I don't know. I made it on the 7th, and well, I have no other description. Also, it just says pop punk bass tone.
Well, I think with that, because I did that Helix or HX Stomp video, and people love that bass tone. They're like, "Yeah, that's great. I will just use that, and then your guitar one can fuck off because I'm a great guitarist, way better than you." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." But people just like sometimes like guitarists who play bass, they're just like, "Can you give me something I can use?" Fine.
Yeah, just something different than whatever the stock tones are.
Because I just want to move on. Because I want to go play my guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's a great preset, and it just works for the punk drivey bass tone. So if you have a jazz bass, P bass, bingo, bango, bongo, either way, it's going to roll with you. And then the guitar, it's more niche. My mids on mids, orange sound. It's not for everybody. I understand.
Yeah.
And then so that's cool. I like the update that my presets are doing pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing pretty sweet, doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I looked. What's cool is you can see like the blocks and how this goes to this, kind of like how you set up a pedal board.
Yeah.
So I set mine with 2 amps. I did like the SVT Classic and then the SVT 4.
Okay.
Into one. So
that's cool.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'll tell I still gotta try yours out because, like I said, my Atrix stuff.
Yeah, you haven't set it up.
Still in the box in the closet over there. But you had mentioned something that I may still want to keep and hold on to the HX Stomp for is we should do a HX Stomp off or line 6 Helix off.
Yeah, and stomp the yard.
I was gonna name the last episode that, but we did that over a year ago.
Damn it! Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe we could do a quick song where it's the same song, and we have the same DI guitar track and DI bass track, and then you and I both come up with different presets. I'll try and come up with something different. I might just use the fucking same one I have, and then we try and okay, which one sounds better in the mix, and then we play it on the show. So. We just reamp them, so that could be something. I'll play guitar, you could play bass, and we just reamp each other's parts and with our own presets on Helix or HX Stomp, and people can download them. And I think, if I remember correctly, the HX Stomp ones you could download for Helix native and the bigger Helix boys.
Yeah, because I actually have your native one, or I have it in my native setup too.
Yeah.
So move it into the DAW.
Yeah,
but I haven't moved. I haven't put mine into the DAW, actually.
I regret downloading yours because now you got one more download because of me.
Yeah. Oh, you son of a bitch.
You fucker. That means you got to download mine.
I saved the zip file, so you wouldn't count as a download. You're such a petty bastard.
You can't give me a win ever. You're just because I think the bass one's actually I think even if I remember correctly, Derek from the Tone Control downloaded it. He's like, yeah, it just works out. It sounds good. It's fine. Because he just wants to plop a bass tone and then move on for his HX rig. I may be speaking out of turn, but I think he did just download it.
Yours is too much drive on yours.
I have 3 levels of drive.
I know.
Clean. I think I got the clean and then a Sans amp.
You have the normie. I know.
Yeah, you got it. You already know.
It's just too much.
Gains. I think it was a gain with 2 Z's or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, really stupid things.
We should. I guess we don't have to post it in the notes this time, but you can put the link or whatever.
Yeah. I'll put the link.
If you want, or we can do it again later. Or,
your.
I'll probably do some tweaks to it also, but whatever.
Yeah, I'll put the link to your preset. Put mine too.
Yeah.
Need to get those numbers. Wins? I want those numbers true to roof.
Yeah,
for that bass. For that bass tone. But I do like that as an idea. I want to pin it because you mentioned it. I mentioned it on the show, and I still have it in my notes here. That I'm the stomp off. So we'll come up with our own presets and we'll make it the same song. So it's not like judging the performance or anything like that. It'll be the same song, same easy drum, patch or whatever, and then just different guitar tones for either part. So nice. I like it. I like that you're getting into the HX Stomp.
A clever name for that too, but damn, like Curb Stomp or something, or
yeah. I was really trying to figure out the last episode title, and then I saw like, oh, you talked about the Timmy, and I'm like, MXR Timmy. If anybody remembers South Park.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Anyways, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying. Remember South Park? That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Remember that? It's still a thing, by the way.
Still a thing, by the way.
Fuck, dude. That's crazy. It's been around like at least since third grade.
Yeah. I remember watching it as a kid, and I was the same age as the kids in the show.
It's like 96 or whatever.
8 or whatever. My nephew's 8. I would not want him watching that show.
No.
But I remember watching it with my dad. Just zombie Kenny getting split in half with a chainsaw, and just like Cartman dressed up as Ku Klux Klan. I'm like, why? This is a show that is meant for adults, but my dad's like, yeah, no, he can watch it. It's cool.
He's a man. He's a man, damn it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I did get some new gear also because I just can't help myself.
Yeah.
So, which is true. I've been staring at this thing at one local store for a good 4 months, maybe now. Maybe not that long.
You just tongue hanging out like the wolf, like, oh.
Yeah. I can't help myself. So, it was the Peavey Stereo Chorus 400 212.
Yeah. That you don't have.
So it's not the Stereo Chorus 212. It's the Stereo Chorus 400.
Yeah.
But it is a 212.
You don't have a photo that you can.
I sent one to you.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Keep talking. All right.
Yeah. So, which is I did some little research on it. Anyways, I got it for a good price. They had it. At least I think it's a good price. Out the door, $250. That's what
shit.
tax.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
So, it was like $230, I guess, but then $250 with,
Yeah.
They wanted $275 for it. I'm like, hey, I broke it out. Haven't done it in a while. Is there any movement on the price here?
Yeah, there you go.
It's been sitting there for a while. So, but they want to clear their floor,
Yeah, that's how you got to ask instead of like,
little space.
Give it to me cheaper.
Could you do a little better on the price? Yeah, so I did that. I'm like, yeah, I got a question for you on this amp over here. You got any movement on this price? Any movement? Whatever.
Yeah.
It worked. Wasn't like, yeah, we'll give it to you for $5. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Those are the magic words.
Yeah.
Here's $5. We don't like making money here.
We save you. Here's 50 cents. We saved you.
Yeah. So $250 out the door. And this thing's heavier than I thought it was. I was like, oh, a solid state amp should be pretty good. I think it's probably the same weight, or even maybe a little more than the Bravo, which was heavy too. It's just that one's a 112 though, but that one's that's a tube amp. This is like a solid state amp, which I probably should look into the specs a little more.
All right, can you see that photo?
Oh wow, there you go.
There it is. That's the
so the Bravo's on
people
top.
Watching the video on YouTube here. So we got the Stereo Chorus, which is pretty good size amp.
Yeah,
and they got the
212
Bravo
with the Scorpion. So this is with 2 Scorpion speakers in it, the originals. It is I'm guessing it's modeled similarly to the Jazz Chorus. I would assume. I've not seen anyone say that directly, but I would assume that it, because it's
that's
similar
guessing,
setup,
right?
Was that?
That's what I'm guessing. Especially
and it has built-in effects. It has one chorus, obviously.
Yeah.
Has A stereo an effect?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it an affect?
But yeah, it's pretty big size amp there that you got.
Yeah.
So
it's got chorus, like I said, it's got vibrato and it's got reverb.
Yeah.
So I can hear the reverb. So here's the problem with this amp. I guess I'll dive into it. I didn't realize you need like the foot switch. Like the foot switch, there's no buttons on the face of this amp that's like activate this, activate that. It's all done with the foot switch. So
yeah.
It's an amp that you would take to a gig and probably that's your only, pedal.
Yeah, or
I guess.
I think a lot of people just maybe don't use the chorus effect.
Yeah, if you're not
using it as
switching,
like
just turn it all off and run clean and run your own pedals and
pedal
stuff,
platform,
right?
maybe.
Yeah.
I remember having a crate that the effect on it was a chorus, and I never ever heard it. Like it was my first like head and cab for guitar.
Nice.
And it was just a big old piece of junk.
Yeah.
Not like the GLX or whatever those crates that people have and kind of talk about from like 2002, 2004 or whatever. I remember Blake has one of the 2x12s that he still is like, oh, I'm just keep it,
Yeah.
Kind of like to be like, oh, a piece of gear.
Blake? Who? Blake from what?
No, Blake Weiland from the Tone Mob there. If you're
going to drop a name, you got to drop the whole thing.
You got to drop the bomb.
That man's built an empire.
Yeah.
That's how he wants it.
Just kidding. Yeah,
it's probably true though.
He's got a whole like dedicated like room building for gear and stuff like that. So he's kind of like within reason, if he can justify keeping it, might as well, because I'm like, what are you going to get for that amp? $75.
Yeah,
is it even worth it meeting somebody for that? Just keep it, especially if it was something you had when you were a teenager. But anyways, so it wasn't even that. It was like an older version from the 90s. So like of like 120 watt head. Do you have reverb on this? No, but we do have chorus.
Yeah.
And you can only activate the chorus.
Get ready for it.
Activate the chorus with a foot switch. So I remember buying just a generic foot switch, like a 1/4-inch deal, plugging it in and then turning the chorus on. I'm like, man, this sounds weird. Also, it sucks.
Wow. Damn, I sound really bad all of a sudden.
And what I thought was
I hate chorus.
A good sound is like that rig was it must have been under 400, maybe it was probably $300 for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was like the kind with like the fuzzy carpet felt shit on it. It's like whoever thought that was a good idea ever.
Yeah.
But it was like that. It was like big old oversized cab,
Yeah.
And I would play gigs with that. And what I went into was a TU2 to a DS1 into that amp. Imagine how great that sounded.
Yeah. Good thing you have a fucking
solid state
metal zone.
Solid state 120. But that's just what we did. And of course you had your clean parts that you played, which like jangly type shit, and then you hit to the fucking distortion.
Yeah, goddamn, I can't imagine that with like a fucking twangy Telecaster.
And then they mic it with a 57 at the all ages club, and they're like, Jesus Christ. The sound guy's probably like, oh god, I'm drinking early today.
Yeah.
Let me just fucking take a little sip of my fucking. That's what like the everyday carry for sound guy in an all ages club was a fucking flask. 3 of them. And then anyways, so it's like, but it was just like that tech, the tech at the time was like, oh, we need to have this accessible only by a foot switch. Like there could have been a button on the goddamn thing.
I know, that would have been nice. That would have been nice for me right now, what I'm sitting in. Because trying to find one is been a little, I've only been looking for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, it's been a little tough on little Kyle.
Yeah.
But I think I found some. People make like an aftermarket one.
Mm-hmm.
They just replicate the diagram or the wiring diagram.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool doing some research on this thing. So there's actually 2. The way they describe it, there's 2 amps in this thing. That's what gives you the stereo. It's not just like split signal.
There's 2 wolves inside of me.
Yeah, there's the good wolf and then the good wolf in this one. So there's 2
inside of 100... me. There's two Kyles. One's your buddy, and the other one's gonna fuck up some drywall.
Yeah. So did a little research, just some reading. Sounds like there's 2 amps. They're both 130 watt rated amps in here.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get the 400 number. I'm looking through like the specs. I'm not like, okay, I don't see 400 anywhere. You know, I don't see it. So I don't know if it's just like it's part of the 400 series. I know they have a series of the 400s.
Yeah.
You know,
they just
I think
make shit up. It's like, don't.
I thought it was a 400 watt. I'm like, okay, 400 watt solid state. That's okay. You know, we'll see how that goes.
It's like on a math test. How'd you get all these numbers right? Why didn't you show your work? No, I don't need to.
Yeah.
How did you get to 400? Do you want to show your work? No. They just have the nerd that they stole the test from. Peavey, they're just like hitting some nerd. Give me that.
There is something that says 200 watt RMS total with something compression on each channel. So maybe that's where it. But you don't want to be freaking resting on like the very back, on the the very edge.
Well, because it was probably out of time too. It's like the most power, the more powerful, the better, the bigger the amp, the better better it is, or whatever. So they probably were running with that.
Yeah.
Whereas like at the time it was like, oh, what about a 300 watt Marshall? Sick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's solid state, by the way, but still, it's 300 watts.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, dude. Yeah, so I'm just kind of scrolling through even right now and just looking at what it has, but it'd be nice to have that foot switch because that goes between mono and stereo.
Yeah.
Between the channels and even selects between chorus, vibrato, and there's a switch for a reverb by itself. So it's right now, I'm like, oh wow, I can test one channel and reverb's on. Yeah. But that's all I can that's all I can tell right now.
Does it run out of both speakers out of one channel?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so you can do one channel as in mono.
Yeah.
Across, but if you do stereo, you can split it. Yeah, and you had mentioned like, I'm kind of stupid because I'm like, oh, I got 2 Peavey amps now. I'll run a stereo rig in my studio, and
so
you're like
ping ponging back and forth. You're like,
yeah. You're gonna that's gonna be fun for like a minute.
Yeah, there was like one time I used a stereo effect for a plane.
Yeah,
and it was very cool when I did it, and it was on an album, and we replicated it kind of in practice, but never live. Where it's like I had a delay that was patterned. It's like dun 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 dun. It was like with my hands, you can tell. It's like dun 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 of right to left. Dun 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 dun. All I did was like I hit just like and the pattern did it for me.
Yeah, you lazy fuck.
But it's how I programmed it, and I'm like, it's cool.
Yeah,
and man, I could like create this live, and so I know we were kind of doing. And then we got to a point where it's like, oh, I can just have this mono, and it's pretty similar effect. Nobody really is gonna care, and we started doing that live. Where I'm like, I had that programmed into my fractal just to go into one amp. It's like dun 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 dun, and then you and Brian kind of built up this like. I just played one chord and it did that pattern. You guys played two.
Yeah, we did all the fucking heavy lifting.
Yeah, you and my fractal did all the work. And then to me, I'm just like up there, fucking Giga Chad, looking just like
look how sick I am.
Getting all the glory, getting all the glory here, and and I'm like realizing like having 2 amps, nobody's gonna care. Nobody cares at all,
except for your fucking lower back.
Yeah. And I mean I think we talked about it on an episode previously, but it's like there was like I think Rhett Scholl was talking about stereo, and even maybe Pete Thorne. It's like it's cool, but it's like most places don't do it right. So you're kind of like, oh, cool, I have my stereo rig, but they're still just pushing
mono.
Both guitars to the right.
Like,
what the fuck?
Whatever side of the stage you're on? Or...
Yeah. Then why did I have this? I don't know. It sucks to suck, bro. Anyways, I'm going to fucking smoke this Bernie.
Yeah.
I'm going to rip a heater back here. Put my feet up while you play. Yeah.
Grab a barley pop and rip this dart, and then I'll be good, man.
Look here, you bozo. We're going to rip a heater.
Bozo.
He's just fucking
You
lighting
jabroni.
your ass up while he's smoking a cig and just drinking a High Life.
I can't argue with that.
Haven't had those in a minute. Well, that's good.
There's like push-pull pots on here too, which is kind of cool. You pull for thick is what it's tell me
it's like they have no idea what they're talking about. They just buzzwords at the time.
Yeah.
Which was the style at the time.
Yeah. Mid-shift. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it's pretty sweet. I'm want to dive more into it. I got to get a foot switch to really break into the other parts of it. It might need a good cleaning.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a 1986 amp. Who knows when it was serviced last?
Yeah.
So I ran the serial, and that's what it popped up as on,
this might be...
This is great about Peavey. Dude, that's what's so cool.
Yeah.
Is like, you don't have to go to a forum to find all this information out. Like, you can't find this with Fender.
Yeah.
Like, Fender doesn't keep any of this shit. Like, I'm literally on Peavey's, you can look through all their manuals, and then you click it, PDF pops up.
Yeah.
You can look and scroll through everything. And then, like, when you do the serial lookup, it's literally on their site.
You can find some things about Fender. You ain't gotta shit on them all the time.
But it's
like I found
you
out
gotta do
about my Jazzmaster specifics. Like, because there were so many of them. There's American reissue, American like reissue, like deluxe or whatever the fuck it is, and I found out about mine and the specifics and all the woods and everything like that.
Yeah, but how'd you find out about it? Was it in a forum?
I googled it. It was on Fender's website.
Yeah. No, dude,
you're banned. Fuck,
you're stupid. Dude.
You log off.
No, okay. So what you do is you type in PV serial lookup. It's their website. Mm-hmm. You type in and it gives you like literally your product was made in 1986. Sick. All right, I'm gonna look more into this, but they keep a record of it, which I think is cool. Fender, I mean, not to say that they did, but they're not gonna have an amp from the 80s. They're not gonna have a record of a fucking. Yeah. You have to. Someone else has had some other nerd just compile all that shit in some forum.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to decode your serial number if it starts with a Z.
You're right. It is harder for Fender, but not.
I'm right.
Not impossible. Not impossible.
Fuck, end the cast. What episode are we on?
This is how I win. But no, that's cool with Peavey. You can kind of get more info, and especially like just I don't know, direct information about your. Because I guess with some of these websites too, they're like, oh, it costs money to keep this info and this page up. Probably,
I get it.
Like, God damn, just do it so people who have your shit that they built these things really well and they still last. It's like even though we're in a throwaway society, it still works really really well.
Well, and it's also sick. Like PV has an eBay account. Literally, you can buy new old stock things still.
Yeah,
that is fucking cool.
I'm sure you looked for that foot switch. That's when it was.
I did.
Not cheap.
I did. They have the 212 from like so they have the Stereo Chorus 212, which is a different amp. That's the one that kind of has the same like styling as the Bravo.
Yeah.
So it's gray with a teal line and stainless on the front or aluminum. Those all day. I can find those on eBay all day. They have them new old stock from Peavey.
Yeah.
It's like a 2 or 3 foot switch. Easy.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it's a 4 still, but it doesn't have the same options. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to buy $100 foot switch.
Yeah, but you don't have to. But it's kind of cool. You got a new amp that's like, I don't know, different style completely than what you've been playing, but it's still a Peavey, and it's not like you're not on your ass. You didn't like.
There's
sell the
still
farm to get it.
There's still a Heritage VTX there, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
at the pawn shop. It's almost the same look as this thing, but it's tube, 140 watt.
Yeah, I
212.
remember you mentioning that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't. I got this one. It was cheaper. The other one, they had that one priced at like $399. I'm like, I don't fucking need that. Think about getting the tubes for that bastard.
Well, that's still cheaper than even just my orange that I bought. So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Not to like tempt you.
Yeah. Well, oh shit. What time is it? No. Anyway, so that's my new acquisition as of today.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like burning a hole. No, I just really wanted to get that thing. I've been wanting it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to save it, rescue it. I'm also gonna check some music shops in Austin to see if I've seen like bins where they have like foot switches.
Okay.
Maybe I could get lucky and find one.
That works. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on from that, I did some work around the house. Did some throwing away of shit, beautifying, cleaning up,
nice.
doing. It's been cold lately outside, but
yeah.
you know, it's better than. I like to work outside when it's like 60s, 70s, not when, or like 50s, 60s, 70s, not when it's like,
yeah, so you can work up a sweat, work up a heater.
Yeah. Work up a fucking heater. You're just like Ben Affleck, just that one meme where he's just like,
fuck.
So disappointed, just so stressed out for no reason.
Yeah.
But it's the easiest life. He's like, oh, everyone keeps talking about how bad Pearl Harbor was. The movie.
Yeah.
Not the event.
Yeah.
There you go. Just randomly.
Yeah.
Like, what a weird thing to keep bringing up to me. So you
Bat-
acted in that movie, dude.
Or
shit.
Batman. They're like, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Batman, Superman. You're like,
Batman.
Dude,
when I saw the new Batman.
Batman.
when I saw the new... Did you see the new Batman yet?
The Batman?
The one... No, not the Batman. Oh, sorry. Did you see the Flash yet?
I did not.
So, I'm like, oh, sick. You know how... Okay. I'm going to fucking ruin it. This is maybe Patreon, but, you know, you see the trailer...
Yeah.
And you see fucking Michael Keaton in that. You're,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
And then the movie starts, and Ben Affleck's in it. I'm like, what the fuck? I was sold the dream, and I'm living the nightmare.
you rip chairs out of the fucking theater.
Yeah, just fucking, like I'm strapped to it, like I'm being tortured. I just stand up and just bolt, like unthread the fucking bolts in the concrete. Just. Anyways, so I was going off on a tangent. Anyways, I don't even know why, but I was talking about Batman for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Flash
so
and the Batman, yeah.
I did some cleanup.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we did some work around the house. We cleaned up all the spiders. We had like they love to hang around. You know, just they're not like big ass spiders. These are just like bigger. I mean, they're big daddy long legs.
Okay, yeah.
But they're like the whatever. So
you don't want
cleaning
them
like
crawling around on you, but yeah.
Yeah. We have like outdoor furniture, like a dining set. So we had to take it out to the grass and like spray them down and clean them because they were just covered in spider webs. The heat, and I think we leave a light on out there, and that's just like at night. They're like, "All right, boys."
Yeah, because that's where all the moths and the bugs go into the light because they're just like, "Oh shit, what's that?"
Actually, I don't even think you need to have a light on. It doesn't matter. They're gonna build webs no matter what.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I did notice. I did leave like the light on on the front porch, and that's where they loved. Like you almost see it was in like a 6-foot radius of where the light was.
Yeah,
there was just like, you know, activity, if you will.
Did you destroy or catch and release, or which was your game plan there?
Oh, just use a
blowtorch.
Well, with the one around the light out front, I had to take the freaking shop vac to him. Dude, it was brutal.
There was one spider the other day. I was like doing my laundry, and I like he ran, or she, whatever, ran out from under the dryer, and it just kind of like froze, and we were both like standoff, like she's gonna go for the gun first, and I'm like,
Yeah.
All right, I can just stomp him with my foot or like smash him, fist. Like, but it's pretty good size, not like tarantula or anything, but good size, like
Yeah.
think of like a dime piece or not bigger maybe, which is not a huge spider, right? But it's like okay, it's good size. I'm like okay, Brian, you can deal with this. Let's just get it outside. I'm not gonna pick it up with my hand. So I'm like okay, got a piece of like kind of cardboard or whatever, and kind of like okay, get on there. All right, we're gonna get you outside. We're gonna get you going. And I kept like thing is like I kept dropping it. They kept falling onto like tile. Like, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh, scoop you back up. And I kept like dropped it 3 times because I'm like, it's moving so fast and it's just jumping off the edge or falling or running towards the edge. And then I'm like, it fell 3 times. And it got to a point where it just like, I got it outside finally on the concrete porch out there. And it just like on its back and all 8 legs just rolled up onto itself. I'm like,
oh my God.
I tortured that thing and killed it.
God damn.
I'm like, man, it probably would have been better if like just kill me.
Yeah.
Just
painful death, please.
It just like kept like all right. Just knocking it out a bunch of times because I'm like, to me, like, it's only 1.5 foot. What are you, a bitch?
You think that it would put a spinner line and like come down the cardboard.
One of them, one time it did.
Yeah.
But then, scooped it back up again and it's like, oh, well, okay, then that was fine. And then it kept, so one time it did. And it was like, cool. And I caught it again. But just me trying to be like, I'm a good person. I don't kill bugs.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
damn.
Well, you did, you big idiot.
Yeah.
He just lands on it on outside, just like rolls up its body. It's like, I'm dead now.
Thanks, idiot.
Thanks for giving me the worst minute and a half of my life. You fucking asshole. I was like, oh.
So yeah, clean the back porch off. Carrie had a lot of her planters back there. We cleaned those out and moved to the front. We moved the stand to the front yard.
Yeah.
Like the front porch. Cleaned that too because I was also covered in a shitload of spiders.
All right.
But yeah, just general cleanup. But I'm like, I had to set up the Blackstone. I bought it as like a prep, like a, hey, if power ever goes out, you're not eating anything hot, So I bought that, and finally I'm like, all right, I'll fucking use it. I had plugged up a propane bottle to it to heat it up and clean it at one point, and I left it attached, and it like all the gas leaked out. I'm like, cool, great.
Yeah.
Fucking sick. So that's just $5 down the drain. Those those cost about $5.
Yeah.
Threw a new one on there. And beautiful. Fired up. I cleaned all the fucking spiders off, spider web, the dust, the dirt.
Yeah.
Because it was just sitting outside. It was rusty. It's kind of like it's a griddle, right? It's just like it's a piece of steel. Kind of like a cast iron, right? Yeah. If you let it will rust. If you let moisture or anything, it'll rust. So I had to basically treat it back down to heat it up, clean it down, run some oil on it. And then I'm like, man, we're on a roll here.
Yeah.
Let's grab some hot dogs, dude. So we went to the store. Hot dogs, grilled them up. It was a cold day, but it was perfect.
Ain't getting brats on there?
No, I don't think brats would do well.
Really? Okay.
It's a flat top. I mean, you could, but like brats like the fucking flame to hit it directly.
Gotcha.
I would assume because like your brats is sitting on a flat surface would not really get a whole lot of heat contact.
Yeah,
I bet it could. I bet you could try it.
Probably try
it's
that.
more of like a burger, flat top. You can onions. I mean, put some oil on that. I'll be like a chef or a cook, short order cook at like a diner soon.
Yeah. You want a smotho, covo, cappo?
That's what it's gonna seem like.
You're just at the Waffle House. That's your next job there.
Damn. So throw some eggs on there. Perfect for breakfast.
Let's get some eggies,
Yeah.
sausage, bacon. Bingo,
Yeah,
bango,
damn.
bongo, dude. Yeah, get some mushrooms and fucking onions on that. Mix it with the eggs. Boom.
Yeah, it's gonna be perfect.
Holy shit.
And you get you know what? I know I said like a short order cook, but I think I'm doing Benihana. That's actually the dream now.
You get the onion with the volcano
Tower.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's my what's new. What do you got?
it was a week of buying stuff. So
Hell yeah! Welcome to my world.
So I was gonna buy some stuff for a band just in case, but it's also something that we could use for playing or another band that I do. IEM rig, so in-ear monitor rig. I've talked about it where I've tried to seek help from my Sweetwater rep and other people, and they just don't get it. What we're trying to do.
Parents, they just don't understand.
They don't understand. So,
dude, what happened to my Sweetwater rep, dude? He bailed on me.
I got a new guy, and he just hits me up after I buy something. He's like, "Hey, man, let you know it's shipped." I'm like, "I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks."
But I'm not going to pick up your phone call.
Yeah.
When you don't receive, I asked he texted me. I'm like, "Hey, bro, you playing that new Zelda?" He never replied back. I'm like, "Fuck you, dude." I'm sure it's a robot. But anyway, so finally, okay, we've been talking about it for my band a while, and we finally planned it out. All the parts that we need, because what I want to do is I want to use it like how we've been doing, where we take a line from the engineer, sound engineer out front, give us one monitor mix,
yeah,
and then we send it 3 ways to all of us, the same mix, and it's
it's a good old fashioned just in case 3-way,
just in case 1 way,
one way, 1 way or the highway.
And then I'm like, okay, well, one thing I want to do is use that same rig always, because the time it takes to plug shit up and move it around, and sometimes you need 3 outlets or whatever for whatever you're doing, that you don't have that. And especially if you're hey, 10-15 minute changeover, it's that takes up a lot of time, especially when you're setting up drums, you're setting up bass and guitar and stuff like that too. And we've been getting by and doing it for our in-ear mixes, because having in-ear monitor mix is a lot of times so much better than just the wedges. Yeah. And we practice like that. So I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to play like that. But we don't want to do the whole fucking big ass in-ear rig where you're 16 space rack of you split every signal. So front of house gets their own mix, they can do what they want, and you have your own mix, and everybody can have their own in-ears personal mix. Very cool, but we don't want to do that either, because that's a lot of gear, a lot of shit. So what we want to do is just have our in-ear monitor mix shit going on the board. It's hey, front of house, you set the mix that we hear, but we just adjust and send the signal to each other. So, and like I said, that's not super conventional. A lot of people are like, oh, well, just have everybody have their own monitor mix, and just everybody have in-ears. I'm like, okay, well, we don't want 3 separate mixes, because that takes forever, and we're fine with everybody hearing the same thing. Brian's not just give me a click and just my drums, it's I think that's what people say Travis Barker hears, is just he just hears click. Yeah, well, damn. Brian doesn't want that. And I don't need to just hear my bass. We're all fine with a level mix. And so I already have a Shure PSM 300 that I bought a couple years ago, for, I think we were going to try and do more, practicing and live streams and stuff like that for playing, and just in case, and never ended up doing that, but I bought it anyways. I still have it, and I have a transmitter so I can do my in-ears to it. I'm like, well, I held on to it, but you can also hook up to packs to it. So I have bought a second body pack.
Is it as a backup or what?
No, so one for me, one for the other person.
Oh, gotcha.
So it could be for Adam, or if we use it for plane, that could be for you. You just hook up your in-ears to it because it's just a 1/4-inch input, and then so everybody has the body pack, and it the same thing. We all hear the same mix. I'm like, oh, can we change my mix? I'm like, well, we're all gonna change it. So at least for just in case, we're all like fine with hearing the same thing. Level mix, fine. Whatever front of house hears, that's kind of what we want to hear. And then, so I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing. So to get a signal from front of house, we needed a monitor amp box or whatever. So Brian has one currently, and we found some things that suck with that, or what most people think of like, oh, what if front of house like fucks up and sends you a really, really loud signal? Can that, fuck up your rig? Yeah, it can. It did at a gig earlier this year. So, didn't blow out their in-ears, but it was just really, they could have blown out their ears.
Damn.
So I'm like, Jesus Christ. So they
that would have sucked.
They unplugged the thing from the monitor and just played, Brian and Adam played just to the room. They had no monitors because they went in-ears. And so they're like, this sucks. They were so pissed. And I mean, I'd be pissed too. It's like, oh, you're going to fuck on my ears, but also my $100 monitors too. Didn't end up doing that, but still, it's like, okay. But so we like the box that Brian currently has, which is from the brand Rolls, made in USA company, which actually is kind of cool. I mean, for whatever that's worth. I know some people like fucking gives a shit, but so we found.
Hey man, we used to make electronics that went to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's pretty good.
At least they can make a monitor amp. So this is the brand Rolls. It's a different version than the one that Brian currently uses. This one has a limiter on it. Little guy here, a little switch. So you can turn that on, and the sound guy or gal
can try as hard as they want to fucking make you go deaf.
Like, let's blow their ears out. They won't. At least you hope so. So I mean,
instead of melt your faces off, let's destroy the musician's hearing.
Yeah. So
let's destroy their ears.
There's a limiter that you can kind of just keep on, and I was testing it today, and it didn't really affect the sound too much, but it definitely helped. Like as I was cranking up my input, it wasn't blowing out any of my ears, but that's just the test. I'm sure there's sound people out there that are gonna try to fuck up something because it's like, hey, I can just set the mix and leave it, but let me fuck with it.
Yeah.
On a board that I don't understand. Can I just have my $300, please? I'm sure they don't get paid that much, but still. Anyways, so I bought that monitor amp. So essentially, what happens? The monitor send from front of house will go here, and then it'll go out of this headphone piece here into our 4-way headphone.
Hell yeah, dude! The fucking Heavy Metal 4,
the Heavy Metal 4 from Boss.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. This is the from Mackie. So an input comes in, and then it'll send 4 mixes. The same mix.
Nice.
And you can do different levels for everybody, because sometimes people want it louder or not louder or whatever. And so it'll go input from the Rolls, which is coming from front of house.
Damn, dude. You're so smart, dude. They said it couldn't be done.
They said it couldn't be done. Sweetwater
and
said
you
it
done did it.
Yeah. And then it's going to go Brian, Adam, Brian, and then the 4th one is going to go to my Shure monitor transmitter. So when we do play live, number 4 will be the monitor that Adam and I share. Brian will be wired always because he's not moving around unless we start having him do flippy fire drums in the crowd.
And then we got to rework the whole fucking thing. God damn it.
We send from the Shure to our body packs. We both have our in-ears. When we play live at certain places, I think most places we're going to try and do the in-ears wired, or not wired, but wireless. Because I know I hate tripping on 3 or 2 cables. I trip over one, and then we add another one. I'm like, I'm going to trip over that motherfucker. And then the fact that it's always set up. All we do is plug it in, can we get something from front of house? Click, done. And then any of the three of us can do sound check.
Yeah.
Hey, do a monitor check. Like, it's one monitor mix you're doing for 3 people. So nobody has to be like, guitar is different than bass. Like, we're all going to be the same. So I trust.
We're all equal in this band, at least when it comes to
the monitor.
mix.
I trust Brian and Adam. They trust me. It's like, let's get something, something cooking, something good. So in doing that, I wanted to have something that was, like I said, one cable from front of house coming in, and then one power, cable, essentially, because it's like I said, sometimes you could have 3. And I'm like, well, that's a pain in the ass if you don't have like a strip or whatever. And so one of my things I was working on is like, okay, how do I power these different devices? So I have the it's out of shot here, but I have the my Shure transmitter. I looked at it. I'm like, okay, saw that it was a 12 volt, 260 milliamps. I'm like, okay, got that. And then this one is 12 volts as well, the headphone amp. Okay, not too bad. And then the rolls is 12 to 15. I tested it on 15, works. Tested it on 9, works fine. So I'm like, okay,
nice.
So it can be anywhere between those. But I'm like, I need a power supply that is going to be able to do all that. So I got a pedal power because I can do this on a board instead of it's not a rack unit type deal. I'm like, let's just get a board. I'm hoping I can get it on a PT Junior size board. Get a flight case for it so that we can just go. I might even try a flat board if I can find something. So
yeah,
maybe that would be better, I would say. So I might look at like Creation or something like that. But if I can get it into a flight case, this is kind of what I'm going for. Because I'm like, I just want to throw this in my truck, in Brian's car, whatever.
Gator makes a bunch of flat boards.
That's not too bad. I'll take a look at that too. But I kind of wanted to test all this stuff out that it works, and today it did.
Nice.
But not with the thing that I bought from Sweetwater. So I bought a really nice power supply, really cool, from Chocks, whatever they're called.
Yeah, who cares?
And it's the DC7 power supply. It is a new power supply, or newer, that is very cool, super powerful, a lot of great options that aren't in Voodoo Labs or even the True Tone stuff, which I'm like, nothing wrong with those, which I'll get to in a second here. But 9 volt, 12 volt, 15 and 18 volt on 7 DC7, stupid. 7 of the outputs. So you can choose between any of those. That's so many options.
Yeah.
And then there's also USB-C. So I guess where I'm thinking 8 outputs. So if you want to charge your phone or something like that.
Damn.
So it's very cool. Nuts, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, oh shit, Jesus Christ. All right. I saw that it had 12 volt, 500 milliamps. I'm like, perfect, because what I'm powering on the Shure transmitter is 12 volts, 260 milliamps. I'm like, perfect, bingo, bango, bongo. Let's go. So I set it all up, hooked it all up, and then I noticed that the transmitter was not turning on. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I double check. I'm like, I have it plugged in. It's the right volt, 12 volts. And I look, and I'm like, shut it down. I'm like, okay, why? And then I look at 12 volts AC, not DC. And I'm like, God damn it. How did I overlook that?
God damn.
So I was hoping that I can power everything off this power supply, and I was kind of bummed. I'm like, well, I guess I can.
I bet that shook you all night long.
Yeah. AC and DC. Luckily I didn't harm the Shure or anything.
Well,
like that.
for those who are about to rock,
yeah,
we salute you.
Check your power supply.
Yeah.
So
Check your power.
So I got this really nice, cool power supply from Sweetwater, and it's not going to fit what I'm looking for.
Damn.
And I don't.
Well, you have to put it back in the rack.
Well, and the thing is, I feel bad because.
Just making up. Just
I'm
annoying you.
I'm not going to send this back to Sweetwater because I used it, opened it, and used all the cables and shit like that. I will hold on to it because it's a great power supply. Like I said, it has all these options and the USB-C
Well,
totally
hell's
fine.
bells. It better be. How much was it?
I think it was probably $220, something like that. I was so bummed because I looked at it. I'm
trying
like,
to fit it in every
what hell's
AC/DC
bells?
song.
And
I'm
I
just
was,
thunderstruck that you did this all by yourself.
I was
dude.
thunderstruck that you didn't look that up.
Yeah.
But another cool thing is I just got a bunch of stuff from Sweetwater because I got these. You can see Ernie Ball stereo.
Are those custom?
Nope. Ernie Ball
The
stereo.
Ernie Ball's Family Reserve or something.
Yeah.
Cables.
But stereo TRS cables, patch cables.
It's $400 cable.
Very cool. The Ernie Ball ribbon flat cables, primo. Like, buy them. They're
Yeah.
great. They come in so many different sizes and they're TRS too. Oh my god. Got those and I was wiring it all up. So once I got the transmitter powered, I just plugged it into the outlet and I'm like, okay, let me just see if this will work. And so I just hooked it up to my twin here. I'm like, well, I'm getting a TRS sound, but I want it mono out of my transmitter. Let's see if it'll work. I just listened to a podcast or whatever, and just testing the monitor. I'm like, I got no sound at first. I'm like, fucking. And I started turning all the levels because you have a level here on the rolls. You have a level here on the HM4, and then you have a level on your body pack, and then also on the transmitter. Okay, let's get
check
everything.
every fucking level.
Let's get everything to noon, and then we'll go from there. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting a sound. It's really clear. And even though I'm getting a stereo signal, I'm getting it mono sent to my body pack, and I can hear it out of both ears. Good. I'm like, okay, let's turn on the other body pack and see if I can hear out of that. All right, that works too. Hearing the same mix. We're fine. We're looking good here. And yeah, so I was like, okay, now I just got to figure out a power supply or a solution to the transmitter for the Shure. And then I was looking, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing that really does AC and DC switching between the two. Like, okay, well, I guess I could just run 2 power cables to something. It's better than 3. And then I remembered the Pedal Power 2 Plus has an outlet on the back.
Yeah.
Like, let me just check that out. It's 200 watts max. I'm like, okay, well, that Shure transmitter is not 200 watts.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just see if it has 12 volts because I don't need 15 or anything, really, because I found that the rolls runs at 9. Fine. And this one is 12. It's got the headphone splitter. It's got to be 12. I'm like, okay. Let's see if I can get 12 volts out of this. And like, okay, 12 volts, 250 milliamps out of the Pedal Power 2. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll buy that one. I'm like, wait, I think I have that. I'm like, do I own one? Did I sell it? Who am I? Where am I? I remember I have one, and I'm just picking apart like a fucking, a TIS. Just a vulture picking apart my old gigging plane without a pilot board, that PT3. I'm just picking off the parts of it. Now I pulled the power supply off of it because that's what I had on there.
Yeah, you already pulled the fucking heart out of it.
I did. It's just like a shell of what it was.
You just like pull it out like da, 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 da.
And I hooked it up, just a mock thing. I'm like, everything powers up off this bad boy. Okay, now we got it. We're living and breathing with this pedal power.
Now we're in the year fucking 3000 apparently because no one could make this thing.
No, yeah, pedal power Voodoo Labs, baby. It's kind of what I already had, didn't ever look at it because I got this Chalks one, which is not bad. It's cool. I just kind of didn't need to buy it. Anyways, so I'm super stoked because we have this board parts ready to go. Now I need to find a board that I can fit it all on. So, and we got a show coming up at the Casbah with our boys Hardly Human, and then we got the homies over on Loudmouth that we're playing on December 4th. So it's a Monday, but Monday can still be a fun day. So San Diego peeps, check that out. And hopefully we have the monitor, nobody's going to tell if we have it. Oh, how did that monitor mix go for you guys? Ideally, we have that all set up and it'd be fun to give that a test run. at that show. So I'm excited to get this going. But I have all the parts. I just don't have a board yet. So I just got to kind of piece it together and find a flat board. I might look at Gator. I think that might be the first one that I go to. On a flat board that I have a flight case for. So even like, why do you need a flight case for? I'm like, because Brian's going to take it home. I'll take it home, whoever. And it's just like, I don't care if you need to throw it in your truck or you put it in your back seat of your car, you put it with your drums. I put it with my garbage cans and stuff like that. It's like, I want it to be safe, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm very excited that it at least, it's like Frankenstein's monster here. I'm like, okay, it's running, it's working, we did it, we got it. Now I just need to piece it together and fit it on the board and
use it in practice and make sure,
yeah,
it doesn't fuck up.
We're gonna do it on Friday, band practice. I'll probably bring the body packs too, just so we can try it and use it, and then get that dialed in. And then while I was buying stuff on Sweetwater, I decided to buy something I don't need, but I think is really cool. Another Shure product that I've talked about on the show. So this one here, the Shure GLX D Plus.
What's the D stand for, dude?
Digital. And what's the plus stand for?
You.
This.
Plus size.
Yeah. I don't have an X on the shirt yet. Still just now.
Oh. All right, you can always turn back. Once you get the X, dude, you're marked for life.
Yeah. So this is my board. It's done. I love it. It's got the Shure wireless transmitter and tuner, and then it goes into my Cali 76 bass from Origin Effects, and then it goes to my Microtubes B7K Ultra V2, and this is the ultimate bass rig for me. I'm like, this is so awesome, very cool. And then I got
that's pretty sweet.
The one spot tuner, or not one tuner, the power supply.
Power supply.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then I got Ryoko from Kill La Kill there. I got my picks here. It's very.
Your picks? Are those the Sharps?
Nope, they're the Triangle Boys.
Oh,
which you should try. I'll give you some when you come here to San Diego. They're the best. Because guess what? You got like three sides there, baby.
They're not sharp enough, though.
Well, you're right. Not as sharp as the Sharps. You're right. Not like the B Sharps.
Well, they call it that, Kyle. Go one.
But yeah, it's a wireless transmitter, and they put a tuner in there, which is fine. I can see it's better than the TU2 that I had on the board, and you can use it wirelessly with the transmitter, for all my guitar flips and running jumps and stuff like that.
Yeah. You throw your guitars around, trade. You guys can trade on stage.
But also it makes it so you don't have to use wireless all the time.
Nice.
It's very heavy too.
Really?
Yeah. It's
so that compressor is really heavy, or just the
I think the whole board's heavy. That's how you know there's tone in here, because there's but the
tuner
is twice I would say twice the weight of a TU2, and just hold it. I'm like, God damn. But I'm very happy with it. And so my board, I didn't need to have this, but I've always wanted it. Since it was released this past year, I was like, that's what I thought would. I was like, they saw my Christmas list.
That's what Bosch should do. Bosch should have. They should do one tuner.
Well, because they make wireless shit too. They should totally do that. It was just one thing that they added. I think they made it longer bands or farther or whatever that you could do. But it's like the fact, because I remember seeing Tom from MXPX's board. He had one of these, the older version that didn't have the guitar input. So what he had to do is like have a split between this to the rest of his board, to where it's like, hey, if the wireless went out, he could plug a cable into a SaturnWorks guitar splitter, so he can have a wired input. I think he was using the sinusoid slates at the time. So it was like he always had a slate next to his board so he can pop it into the input and then use it in case the wireless went down or had a bad night where they couldn't get on a good channel or something like that. Like, that's a very smart deal. And then Shure's like, well, guess what? We just added that.
We did it.
We heard you.
Make Tom waste his money.
And then I'm like, yeah, very cool. Stuff I didn't need to buy. Didn't really need to buy the monitor.
It's a nice little clean board there. Nice.
I love it. Yeah, that's great. So it's
I love it.
So I spent some money this week. And I'm Not bummed about it at all. Little bit about this power supply that I don't need.
Yeah, but
I'm
you can
sure,
totally use it.
like you said, Brian, why don't you build a board around this? I'm like, okay. A very powerful board because I have a lot of milliamps and a lot of voltages that I can change.
Yeah.
So I got to be careful.
Don't
about
let
that
all
too.
that power go to your head.
Yeah.
Because, they say, with great chalks,
You're like, say it, do it,
do the thing.
say the thing. Yeah. So we were both busy this week buying stuff, buying gear.
Yeah.
So it's maybe been like maybe some months and time that where I haven't bought anything, and maybe you haven't bought anything, but it's like
Finally catching up to me. Not even, dude.
it's the holiday season, so we're buying gifts for ourselves.
Yeah. This room is getting smaller and smaller, by the way.
Because fuck everybody else. We need gifts for us. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm important in my own life.
yeah. So it was fun. So I feel like
I'm the only one keeping this thing going.
Yeah, there's a proper gear podcast topic extravaganza. But let's get into a topic about.
Wow, we're gonna hit a topic after all that?
I think we can do it, huh? We owe it to
God
them.
damn, I don't think people want to hear our voices anymore.
We don't owe them shit. Okay, we were talking a little bit on the Patreon and kind of made me think of this. No, I lied. It made you think of this topic. Kyle,
Yeah.
you're like gonna.
I got some brains.
You're gonna
in
rip
this.
my head off. I'm like, I came up with it. That was my bit.
He stole it from me.
So Kyle had this pretty cool topic. It could be a quick one, a long one, whatever. So what are some things? Because we were reminiscing about the good old days.
Golden day. Or whatever.
Yeah, glory days.
Glory days. I mixed like a Bowie song and
We were
I almost said golden years.
the glory days, the glory hole days.
Glory old days.
Oh yeah, about like when we were like a band starting out. It's like, okay, there's a lot of mistakes that we made that we wouldn't do again. But it's kind of things of like, Kyle was thinking. All right, do you want to say it or do you want me to?
Yeah, I guess like I guess I was thinking the number one thing, or maybe I guess there are multiple things that make you like push you to be a better musician
Or band. Improve your band.
Tighter band,
Yeah.
Improves everything. Something that just tightens up everything.
Mhm.
And obviously, we gotta practice. Yeah, okay, we get it. Important. We'll talk about that, right?
Yeah. But this is like stuff
That's what I mean.
improve your band. I don't know, a new band or whatever.
3 easy steps.
And I kind of think I'm more thinking of a new band, right?
Yeah,
And
it
now
could
that
be.
we're
Yeah,
in our mid-30s. It's like eventually I would like to start a new band. And the thing is, I wouldn't make the same mistakes that I did when I was a kid. Like where you play every fucking gig that gets offered to you. You seek out every fucking gig that gets offered to you.
yeah.
I think it helped at the time, but now that I have like so many gigs under my belt, I need, with just in case, with playing, with filling in for friends' bands, with filling on tours and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I know how to perform live.
Yeah.
I do think like playing those like shit gigs when you first start, it's like, hey, maybe I'll start a band and like I need to play those, but I don't need to play all of them.
Yeah, it builds character. Yeah, I get it to play at 4 a.m., but to do that like 3 times a week with a full-time job might be a little detrimental, I think.
Yeah, we did that when
you're
we
working
were 18 or 19,
I think even later, it was like into early 20s.
Yeah, but
we were still playing like multiple gigs a week, and some of them would be going, till just 2.
Mhm.
And we would be closing out the show.
Yeah.
And it was fun, but it was rough. It's like, all right, cool. I got to work at 7. This is gonna be. I still have to drive my shit back to the studio, then drive home.
Mhm.
I'll be home at 4 o'clock. I'm going to take a shower. I'll try and wash off all these fucking drain flies that have been flying around the bar. Literally, like the bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
But anyways.
yeah, so that's what we
I'm
did.
getting negative.
Yeah, that was what we did. I'm like, I don't think that was bad. I'm glad we did it, but we will never do that again. Let's say if you started a band in Texas or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
we're not going to try and do that. But I think practicing really helps, but practicing with a direction.
Yeah.
Like I think
So if you have
Mhm.
a goal,
Yeah.
like that was perfect. Perfect segue. I'm stealing the rest of your line.
Hey, go for it.
If you have songs, right?
Mhm.
You're practicing, but you're also not just like practicing for a show, you're doing like production on it to then record it.
Yeah.
The production is a huge part of it to tighten up, to go through ideas. But something that's hard is when you're playing, you're not necessarily listening to the song also.
Yeah.
You're not capturing the whole song. You're playing your part and you're like, okay, in 2 measures, I'm singing again. What were those fucking words?
Mhm.
At least for me, I'm like, okay, all right, got him. Perfect. And then, but you're not listening to the song always. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes you set up a song, you're like, I'm fucking hot shit. Look how great this thing is. And then you play it back, or let's say you do get it recorded, or let's say someone else isn't seeing it the same way as you, But that's what's nice about production is it's easy to fall into holes when you're writing.
Mhm.
Copy and paste, done. I did this last week with another song. It sounds just like something else.
Yeah.
But that leads me to record, like actually prepping to record, and then actually recording the song and being in the studio, the whole process, watching the drummer play, listening to the same song over and over and over and over and over again. For me,
Mhm.
once it's actually recorded, was it every time I've been in the studio to record, I feel like I've left as a better musician.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was getting at, is like, I feel like as a band you become better,
Yeah.
but also as an individual, you did your job to the best that you could at that time.
Mhm.
There's always room for improvement, but those songs that you've done, maybe they're the best you could do at that point in time for either songwriting, because songwriting also, that's something that gets tested, right? Your
Yeah.
lyrics. Now everyone can fucking hear them.
Yeah.
And maybe now they don't sound as cool anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's
Once you
kind
like
of stupid.
isolate and you can pick apart everything, that's when it really changes.
Yeah.
Because
I think,
yeah.
not that like, oh, I should listen to what every single person says, and you got to fight for pick your battles, right?
Yeah, and fight for your space and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
because it's your own creativity, but also, someone might be right. Like whatever you are saying might sound fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like the combination of words might not make sense to you. They make sense.
Yeah.
You might sound like a fucking idiot. You're like, okay, take a step back. What are you saying there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me think about that one.
And even like I think of like for guitar, like in a band practice scenario, I would do like a lead line or a solo, because it was like, oh, we leave space for a solo. I'm like, okay, cool. And then so we did
Solo time.
And then when I finally played what I was playing live and or in band practice, it sounded shitty. Didn't match up with the
Sounds
drums.
pedestrian and lame.
Yeah, it didn't match up with like some of the accents the drums and bass were doing. I'm like, fuck. So I rewrote the whole fucking thing. And it wasn't anywhere like what I played, in practice.
Yeah.
Because like I finally isolated what I had. I'm like, this doesn't match up. It doesn't sound good, and it sounds fucking lame. The fact that I'm like, we're accenting this lead part for 16 measures, and it sucks. Now I'm like, as a guitarist, I'm like, do better. And that was
you go, why do we do that? Why would we do that riff 4 times without actually expanding or doing anything different?
But also at a certain point, it's like, it's already recorded. So now you have to
too
change
late.
it.
Yeah.
And I mentioned like a song lyrics that like I recorded and we played, and we didn't come in on the and. We always came in on the one, but we recorded it coming in on the and
we didn't catch it.
And it sounded great. And then when it came time to record the vocals, I'm like, these don't work. So I rewrote the vocals to fit the song, and it was better. It was better because it got to the point where it was like, hey, you've been singing this way for so long.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really, it's just been fine. Now really analyze what you're saying and make it better.
Yeah.
So
And
it kind of makes you like rewrite, I guess.
You grow. You grow as a musician when you record, I think. Because when you're listening to yourself without having to think about playing, you're like, okay, I played that. Okay, I could do better. Let's do another take. You know, I think it's the takes that make you better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know?
And then also just
because
like
it's scrutiny. You're under a freaking microscope now.
You're able to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can say like, oh no, I played it really well. I'm like, are you sure? Because let's zoom in, enhance. What about this fuck up?
I think you're fucking lying to me.
And then it's also can be a little bit of a hostility, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it can be kind of heated. It was like, we had a buddy who helped us like produce an album, and he was there kind of being the engineer, but also being like, you know, what about this idea? What about this idea? You know, some were really good ideas, and some you had to push back and be like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
He had one that was just like talking during an intro that he wanted me to do, and I did it. And the lyrics I said didn't make that, because he was like, oh, just say this. It's like, inhibitions have left the building. And I'm like, okay, I said it and recorded it. I'm like, he's like, yeah, that sounds perfect. And he puts like effects on it and stuff like that. I'm like, we're not keeping that. We're not. He's like, why? It sounds great. I'm like, it sounds fucking stupid. It doesn't work with the lyrics. And he's like, but you know, it's a kind of a good vibe, you know? And I'm like, okay, this is where I'm like, I'm pushing back now. I'm like, this sounds stupid. Delete it.
Yeah.
I remember being like working with him. And he's like, all right, okay. He's kind of like, well, I thought it was cool. I'm like, all right, not every idea you have is great.
Yeah.
But the singing in key and harmonies and stuff like that, ideas he had, I'm like, oh, that works. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not a good singer. I'm trying. What are you doing? I'm trying. What are you doing?
Anyways, yeah, so whatever. Oh, sorry, I walked over you.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I think, and then the idea of like, you know, it's easier now, I think about it, than like when we were 18, recording band practice. Didn't have the tech for it, didn't have the, you know, the know-how, the gumption maybe to do it, but it's so
well, we're also
beneficial.
like focused on like, we're playing a show.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the other thing. It's like we recorded, you know, we recorded an album last year, or whatever, you know, we're playing shows now, you know, we'll work on new material.
And getting our name out there.
Yeah.
And so when I think of like, oh, practicing with Just In Case now, we're writing new songs and we have ideas. So Brian has a Zoom H4 and it's hooked up to our monitor rig. So it's like, oh, nice. Well, just turn that on, record the monitor mix that we have.
It's so much easier to do that these days.
Yeah, it's so much easier now. And it's just like,
sounds stupid. These days.
Well, yeah, it's like, oh, I have like, you know, a 16 gig card that came free, you know, included with this Zoom product. I'm like, you don't even need anything else. It's just included. You can record like hours and hours of like band practice.
16, damn.
And that's just like,
that's pretty good.
Think of how crazy that is. Back in our day, you know, I don't know, you bought one of those like, I'm trying to think of like the camera that was like almost like an iPad.
Tascam? Oh.
Yeah, like, you know, Tascam, or I want to say it was Zoom, but it was some sort of like.
You said it was what would you say? It started over again.
Sorry, a pocket camera deal, but it was like an iPod. A lot of people use those, anyways. But it's like, oh, you would have that and set it up for band practice, and it was just like
a GoPro,
kind of like a GoPro, something like that. But it's like they were expensive, like $200-$300, and then it's just terrible audio. And you're like, okay, well, you can get an idea, but nowadays it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And the way bands are even practicing, they have like, you know, even better in-ear rigs than the thing that I'm trying to work out here. I'm like, they have the 16 channels that they can send to the computer. I'm like, that's their practice. They can hear it. So practicing with like a recording, I think is beneficial. And then also, you know, you can hear like how bad you are.
Yeah.
If you fucked up. And you're like, oh, that vocal part does not work. Or it's really hard to do and I keep missing it every time. So tweak it. But I think,
yeah, I like that. I like.
I don't know. I think
recording yourself, helps out a lot.
Yeah, but also I think we're coming from the perspective of people who have played tons of shows. Like, if you've never played a show before and your band is like, oh, we're all getting after it, you could be in your 30s and be like, oh, we've never played before in front of people. You gotta rip off that bandage several times. So just go out and do it.
Yeah. It's like people talk. I've never done stand up, but I imagine it's like you can't teach stand up. You can like
can't teach
people
time,
how to
son.
some techniques, but like you can't write their jokes for them. It's the same thing. I can't write the music for you, and I can't make you play.
And you have to have those shows, I think, with comedy and with music, where you bomb or it sucks.
Yeah.
If you play shows only where they're fucking sick, you're gonna be hit with one of the ones that sucks.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
So, and I think I think of like, oh, eventually I would start a band probably with Brian, Johnny, and myself,
Yeah.
And we've all played shows that suck. So we don't need to have more of those. So we can try and avoid those. But if you've never played before, I'm like, oh, you might need to have those like suck a dick shows, where it's like, yeah,
sucking a dick.
Yeah, where it's like, all right, this is what we're doing tonight, because you've never experienced that. If you're ever in like, oh, your first show, your whole family comes out, and the grandma you're pulling her on the wheelchair, she's coming out, and it's like,
and she's gonna be real disappointed in you.
And you play the first show, and everybody loves you. They love you, baby. There's like 100 people there just for you, and then you have the other people in your band who have never played before.
And then they all leave when you're done with your show because you didn't tell them to hang around.
Well, and then
you're
also
going to Murray Callender's to celebrate afterwards.
Yeah. Gotta get a slice. Save one for me, would you?
Yeah, Grandma needs a slice.
And then the 3 or 4 shows down the line, there's 5 people there for you. Yeah. That's the one you're gonna have to experience on a Wednesday night, and you're closing, pal. Here's my closer. These guys. So that's the difference. So that was a fun topic. We got some, blood from a stone there.
Yeah, we fucking killed that one.
I do like that. It was a good topic. I'm sure we could hit it again later, but I don't know. I think of because like I said, important stuff that I would do now that I would not do when we were 17, 18, 19. I'm like, we're not doing that again. We will not be doing that.
There's a lot of those, but yeah.
All right, let's bring it in for a landing here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. We got some social media that you can follow if you like us, if you like the show. I'm almost
even if you hate us, follow us.
Almost an hour, 20 minutes here that you've listened to us. We're on Instagram at the Tone Jerks. We're on Twitter X at the Tone Jerks. Facebook
and X what? Also X videos.
Yeah. We should put the podcast on there.
Yeah, we could.
We could.
We get a lot of feet guys probably commenting.
Yeah.
Show us your feet.
Oh, they might like my wide boys.
Yeah, your Hokas, take them off, bro.
Take off those ultras, bro.
Yeah, let's see the dogs.
Yeah, there you go. I got the short and wides on.
Yeah, I got the big boys' feet.
I got the chodes of feet. Kyle, you're like, I don't like that.
Break out that tuna can. Let's see.
Anyways, so we're on Facebook. We have a Facebook group linked in the description over there. It's gotten me a couple times. I didn't wear my mouth guard last night, so I chewed the shit out of my fucking.
God
you're talking about putting some meat on the grill there, dude.
Speaking of dogs, dude, what are you doing? You're like, you're just like, you need a chew toy.
Yeah, you need the Brian. Let's put some Brian tongue on that. Looks like ground beef on the grill there.
God,
I fucked my shit up. Anyways,
Brian Lingua.
Yeah. So we got the Facebook group of them. And then if you really like the show, you can give us a sub on YouTube. We're posting video content over there. I was a little lacking, but I got caught up. We got
There's more cat posts on Instagram now.
Well, I mean, Instagram, but also YouTube. We have the video pods up there.
Yeah.
I was behind on 3 of the episodes. Got them all dumped. Dumped them out. We're going to stay on top of that. So video pods over there, other pods and other vids going up there eventually, later, whatever. Probably after the holidays, because you boys getting burned out over here. The day job is kicking my ass. And then
just started too. God damn.
Sucks. It started in July, boy. Let me tell you what. And then if you really, really like the show, you can help support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you double down for $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week, and you get the whole back catalog. We are 308 episodes. Going to be 309 when this comes out.
308.
Yeah, and new episodes. So they're not just like, hey, let's just put the main or on the page.
Let's double it. Let's put backwards.
Yeah.
Let's
put in reverse. No, it's all new shit over there. And some, behind the paywall stuff this week, actually.
Oh, yeah.
The guards are off. We get wild over there. When we reminisce about the old days, the good old days. Yeah. We go to some extracurricular activities with the boys when we were teenagers. Going to check out some of the highlights, the lowlights of the night. It was a fun time. So check out the Patreon over there. And then just for the support, for, supporting the boys over here, we're giving you all a huge shout-out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle, you got a list over there?
I got it right here.
Why don't you give it to me?
You're not going to call me baby anymore?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was your baby.
Yeah, that was my baby. That's with my fucked up tongue. I'm still doing the work.
Okay. I got Andrew Walsh from Andrew's Alco.
You're like,
and Synth Project, Red 4. I have Abe Newman, Michael Newman, Nicholas Payson, Nicholas Ogburn, Dougie King, Dougie Chris from 37FX and Masters of the Cinematic Universe, also the Just Surprisingly podcast. I have Joe from the Like Mind Network, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, also the Just Surprisingly podcast. I don't know why when I get to Joe, I stumble,
Yeah.
I gave it all up for Doug.
I give it all up.
Gave it up for the Dougie. The Dougie. What?
Oh.
I don't. Yeah. Never mind. I next name. Will Lehue from the Just Surprisingly podcast. Also Energy Weapon. Sharing maps. He's a busy man. We call him the Trash Man. Tony DeGraw from Texas State Boggle Champs. RJ Smith from Teletalks. Jamie Davis, Johnny Ray, Steve Rao from 60 Cycle Hum, Kevin E. Quits from Quits Guitars, Co Schneider from the band Night Tides, Alvaro Viramontes, Brian Nutter of Nutter Guitars, Mel Chipson of Chipson Guitars, Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop, Sean Fahey from the band Shadowhounds in San Antonio. They play the Alamo every night. Yeah. Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects and How to Fucking Solder on YouTube.
I remember the Alamo. Woo!
Yeah! The stars are bright, or down deep in the heart of Texas. It's also from that same. Where are you? And he holds the phone up. Deep in the heart, or whatever. Anyways, I forget how it goes exactly. I would love that movie. I gotta watch it again. Peavey's but on like Netflix, right? Yeah, but they have like another, like when they did a remake, or they did like 2017 or 16, they did a new movie.
Yeah,
they have that on there, but they don't have. I gotta find
other Peavey
Playhouse.
Super Mario Brothers, the movie. I guess the new one that just came out last year is coming on Netflix in a couple weeks.
Nice.
So hold tight there, Kyle. You should watch that fucking movie, and I want a goddamn review.
The past 2 movies we've bought on like Prime because they weren't anywhere to stream because we really wanted to watch them. Like within a week or 2, they hit fucking another service we were paying for.
Wait, did you watch the Mario Brothers movie?
No.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be on Netflix coming up.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm saying
hold fast.
There's a movie called American Made that we rented on Prime, and then like literally a week later, it popped up on Netflix.
Yeah.
It was a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking great, actually. I recommend it. It's now leaving Netflix. It was only on there for like a month.
Yeah.
And then another.
It's going to HBO
I know
or something
I'm
like
delaying the podcast here, okay?
Yeah.
But another one, I watched the Spider-Man Into the Multiverse one.
Yeah.
It's already on fucking Netflix.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But we rented them literally like a week before they launched onto.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, but still, it's a good movie. That Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Primo.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, that, and then I was gonna go see, it's an anime movie from the person who did, what was it, Your Name?
Yeah.
Forgot the guy's name. He had one that came out last year. I missed it because I think we were doing NAMM or something like that, or whatever the fucking shit was. And then it was like, oh, re-releasing in theaters like this past like couple months, and I couldn't find a day to go. It was like, oh, Friday, Saturday. I'm like, cool, I work both those days. And it's like, in theaters. I'm like, I think it's Suzume is the movie. Makoto Shinkai, I believe, is the guy. But I'm like, oh, I was bummed that I couldn't see it because it's, I like watching them dubbed. Oh, anime dubbed, whatever. Usually doing a good job nowadays. So I missed it in theaters, and then I saw, like, hey, it's coming to Crunchyroll, which I pay for, this week. I'm like, if I would have watched it in theaters and paid, $20 to go watch it, and then it comes out in a week or two,
Yeah,
and I can watch it at home, like, I mean, cool, the theater experience, but also at the same time, like, I kind of would like to save $20 I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just like a loser
in
the
the go out on a limb here.
watching an anime movie by himself.
Yeah.
Anyways,
bring your new movie pal.
Yeah.
Austin Train.
I'm sure he would probably go.
Yeah. All right, we're reading the list here. We got some important names.
I sneak in a couple corn dogs.
Right.
Like, here you go, buddy. The Wiener Schnitzel corn dog. Like, here you go.
Oh, those are so fucking good.
They're so good.
Sonic does not do a good job of. They do okay.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. Anyways, let's just get
Wiener Schnitzel corn dogs and chili dogs are my go-to. I've never tried anything else there.
Dude, their whole menu. It's like they're Taco Bell but hot dogs. Okay, so everything, it's there.
Yeah,
it's whatever. It's just different variations of the same. Yeah.
It was like, I remember as a kid, my dad and mom, like, he'd pick us up, or like he'd pick my mom up from work or whatever, and then he just has like the, 3 monkeys in the back, like my sisters and I were just like, it's like, oh, we're gonna stop at Wiener Schnitzel. What do you want? And it's like, just give me a shitload of fucking corn dogs. And he just throws them back at us. Just like, we're like, yes. Yeah. And that was dinner. It's like, hell yeah. When you got corn dogs, you're like, oh my god, was I a good boy?
Here's something I thought was funny. I was thinking about. My parents told me that McDonald's didn't make food custom. Like, they didn't do custom orders.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't get it without ketchup, or it just came how it came.
Yeah.
I didn't know until later on, because we'd pull in. We have, imagine how many kids we had with the daycare my mom ran too. Mm-hmm. And she would, they'd order like 20, 30 freaking burgers for 29 cents or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a gnarly move.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. But you couldn't, like, I was told you couldn't customize your food.
Well,
so you just had to get it. You just had to get it with the onions. You had to get it with the pickles, the mustard, and the ketchup.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because she didn't want to deal with any of your shit.
No. Anyways, Juan Ortiz from Tone Hungry Effects, Mike Oxbig, Denny Whacked It, and then he Zach Hailed.
Yeah.
It's Eric Merrow from YouTube and Instagram. We got Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop podcast, Matthew Fenslaw, Matthew Davis, Chase Stevens, and Pete from Over There.
All right, we kept you long enough. We'll leave you, and we'll see you next week. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.